What you are about to see is one of the craziest grand finals in Trackmania history. It's Red Bull Faster 2026 with a $50,000 prize pool, live in Amsterdam with 500 spectators eagerly cheering for their favorite players. The players are also directly facing one another live in center stage. Everything is on the line as they walk out into the arena.
Our first grand finalist, back! This time for Gwen! Everybody, it is Everest! Can I hear you? For Mother!
Now that all the players are on stage, the match can finally start. The players will compete in cup mode, trying to reach 140 points. You score points in each round depending on your position. First place gets 10 points, second place gets 6, third place gets 4 points, and fourth place gets 3. You try to reach 140 points, and after doing so, you need to win one round to clinch the title. And with all that said, please enjoy one of the best grand finals in Trackmania history. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise in the room for our 4 finalists as we're starting round number 1 of the 2026 Grand Final on Railways.
Yeah, we have that 50-50 split as well. It's Epos and Mudder going for that right side line on the second jump, whereas Pack and Gwen have been going for the other line. Pack with a great start to kick things off here, already 2 tenths ahead. We see Epos falling back with a little mistake on the containers as Pack continues to extend that lead, almost half a second ahead of Mudder and Gwen right now.
And this is a fast split to start things off. This is like starting off and your opponent is just lightning quick with a jet start, but here is where Mudder might gain time back with a special line. Keep in mind now, he was 0.5 behind. Now on the next checkpoint, we are going to see him behind, but less so. He's getting closer to Pack, and with that special line, gain a 10th here, can gain more in different rounds, but right now it's looking very good for Pack in this first round. 10 points almost secured, except for one jump. We'll see how this goes. Mudder inching a bit closer, lying in wait if something is to happen. Pack just needs to land the booster and jump into the container, and Mudder almost missing the jump, but Pack takes the first 10-pointer.
A huge run there from Pack, as you say, a 105.3, very fast in rounds, and Mudder obviously coming up in second. We saw Uppis making that early mistake, needs this jump, will manage to pick up the 3 points to round it out.
So not the dominating start we saw from Mudder. Not going to start with 4 in a row, but is showing a lot of potential there. And he is the favorite going into this grand final. Many people predicting him as the potential winner, but we haven't seen the craziest pace yet.
Yeah, but also what a great start for Pack, right? This is a guy that absolutely whitewashed you when it came to the first semi-final, and now picking up that win with a pretty sizable advantage, slowed it down a little bit at the end. Epos going for the safer route here as everyone else goes for more speed out of that dirt turn. Epos is going to be falling behind about 2 tenths in total. It's Mudder and Gwen at the front. Pack not with the best of jump there. A little bit of wobble is going to lose him speed. We'll see Mudder go for that wider line to try and get the better bounce towards that top right side path.
Oh, and this is good, Medic. This is a great line. He was now just extending his lead far into first. Gwen almost able to keep up, but trailing into the dirt, almost hits the wall. I want to remind you, Gwen, stretch resolution is what lets him get so close to the walls. It looks uncomfortable for us, but for him, he has it all under control. Last part pipe jump, it's a split of 1500ths difference. Into the drop, is Mudder able to get the booster? Yes, and that is going to be a 10-pointer for him, and a 104.97, 200ths from the tournament record.
Yeah, almost the fastest run we have seen in the entire tournament. Pack coming up quite late on this one. We'll get through in time, but from first to fourth, in the matter of 1 round. Not the best for Pack, means that we'll have Mudder out to a lead at 16 points, Pack following at 13. Obviously still a long way to go in this grand finals, but a good start can really set you up well.
Yeah, and now we got to think about Epos. Epos with a 3rd and a 4th in the first 2 rounds on his map choice. He picked this as the first pick, whereas many other players went for a map around the 5th or 6th slot, as that is when things are likely to be in finalist mode, and you could end on your favorite. So here we're seeing Epos not getting off to a great start on his map. Still 2 rounds of play to make something happen. Mudder with a slow landing. He's going to be last into the left-right jumps. And it's again Pack leading the charge with phenomenal splits. I gotta say, it's 104 mid right now if the run continues at this pace.
But this is the sort of moment where if Mudder gets his line perfectly, he can leapfrog a couple of people. He can go up into second place. We'll see if he's able to catch up 8 tenths behind, but look at the speed from Mudder! from my lips to God's ears as Mudder jumps straight into second place from almost an entire second behind.
We counted him out of the race, but he said, hold on, not on my watch, and it's looking like a repeat of the first round. Pack solidly in first, Mudder close to follow, and the other two players not to be seen at the moment. We are going to follow the jump though. We have seen rare mistakes happen here, but most of the time they do get the jumps right. Positions remain. Pack, tournament record in the grand final when it matters most.
A 104.935 is rapid. You can see as well, if Mudder didn't have that poor start, he is absolutely flying on this. Pack and Mudder off to the races in this. Gwen and Epos really need to find their form. It's very rapid though. 4 rounds on a map means you do not have time to settle and you have to hit the ground running.
You do, and now is the last chance for Epos to make something happen on railways. Perhaps as was a strategy of getting it out of the way as players have done previously. Or maybe he's left a lot of potential on the table. Again, the inside line momentarily gains a bunch of time, but loses it from the exit speed. It's just a safer choice than risking it on the outside. And he's still in competitive range here, but with the pace being driven, it's a different field than what he faced in the semifinals. And now, even being just 0.3 down is all the way in last. Gwen and Pack going out to the side. You can see Mudder's line there. Epos has actually switched his line from the semifinals.
Yeah, going for that lower line rather than going up towards the right side means that he's going to be a little bit slower, but perhaps was just trying to do it for the speed, because we did see Railways later on in his semi-final. Gwen in the lead ahead of Mudder here. Mudder about 100th behind. Pack trying to catch up as well. A couple of final jumps to go through here. Good air brake is needed to make sure you get onto the booster with a release. They'll both do it, but Mudder takes the lead. Another 104 high, 0.97.
Feels like every round was won with a 104. It's the craziest level I've seen, and Mudder comes out on top of the first map. It wasn't 40 points to start things off, but 32 is a really solid start for Mudder.
Yeah, Pack just behind though. That's the difference. Like, it's 1 more point than a first and second, right? If Pack gets first as we move on to Everest, a map that is the bane of many players' existence here because we had seen it only in the second half of the semifinals. We had to see it in our top 4. Mudder didn't pick it. He knew that he would be able to race this map early on, and Mudder is so clean on maps like this.
Yeah, it's something that all the players have talked about in the practice room, that Mudder is going to pick Everest. He actually hasn't picked Everest because it was picked for him in an early spot here with the way the format works. So he's going to have to play it. He has 4 opportunities at racing down the mountain as best as possible. And what's interesting, Medic, is that you wouldn't think a steering wheel is good for an ice map. But although this looks like an ice map, it's very much just a difficult map with some ice here and there.
And the reason you don't usually like steering wheels on ice is because it requires instant shifts in your direction of steering, right? And so with a steering wheel, you have to really crank it from one way to the other. We actually see Grenadi sometimes use his keyboard to get that directional shift.
Yeah, and if you look at Mudder's player cam when he drives, you can really see him flick the steering wheel. In previous tournaments, it's been a problem where sometimes players don't want to sit next to a steering wheel player on like a row of desks because their desk will shake when the steering wheel player like flicks the wheel. So we're going into the first round now. Attention to be paid on the first ice slide here. This is where big differences can occur because they're trying to speed slide. Mudder gets it really good. You could see he gained a lot towards Pack, who didn't. And this is the difference already in the start. And we haven't even gotten to the really difficult parts of
already second of difference between Epos in first place and Pack in last. We've seen a lot of people crash out on this map as well. It is not an easy road to the finish line as Gwen is chasing on the heels of Mudder and Epos. Epos are leading Mudder through this jump, but Mudder overtakes. We'll see who takes which route. It's Gwen going yellow, losing a little bit of time here to get more speed through this portion. We'll see how much he can catch back up. Still going to be a couple of tenths behind Mudder and Epos. This drift can be so spicy. The end as well, so important. We'll see them really cranking their cars over to the left, doing the spin, doing another spin, then trying to get the angle for this final spin into an ice slide here for Epos. Mudder gets the straight line with a 158 low. Epos coming in just a bit behind.
And that is a really good time. Like on Railways, we saw the tournament record be about 0.4 from the world record. But on Everest, there are risks you can take in time attack that you simply would never go for on stage. So 58 low, 58, 57 even high is extremely good for this track. And Mada continues his Terra of dominance.
Well, because Pack came in last as well, that gap has really begun to open up. It was only 5 points, now jumping up as Mada goes over the 40-point mark. We'll see if he can be consistent, as 3 more rounds here on Everest. His own mountain to climb, it feels, consistency when it comes to these Red Bull Faster finals. So I'm struggling with it in 2025, but here he seems to have conquered that summit so far as Pack hits into the wall. Gwen has a bad slide out as well, as Mudder is going to be able to take first place away from him for now.
And now we go down into the drop down. This is where Mudder's ahead, but pay attention to Gwen. If he's able to go to the yellow line, it's oh no. He was trying to set it up, but did not have the required space. Epos will overtake that second place for now, and he is kind of in a no man's land. He's not looking to risk to catch up to Mudder, because why would you? And he's just trying to keep Pack behind him.
But it could be a really good map for Epos, right? He's gone second place, likely second place here as well, assuming that he can safely finish well enough. Ends up with a ice slide across, gets another second place. That's 12 points for him gained across the round. Pack falling down to third, with Gwen actually in fourth at the end.
And that's almost as much as he got on Railways total, so this is suiting him better somehow, although it's really not suiting any of them except Mudder, it seems like, as he's getting another 10-pointer, an almost tournament record, missed it by a couple of hundredths.
It's just incredibly impressive, but you can see how quick his time is compared to the tournament record. His world record almost a full second quicker than the tournament record, just because of how you can optimize this map if you are doing time attack rather than needing the consistency. A huge amount of speed here for Mudder. Epos is going to be able to overtake him, but he'll carry the speed through this downhill section. Need to make sure you avoid that. Benz's Pack shows you what not to do.
That was a slide lock. Pack really would like to exit that ice slide, but he was in the exact wrong angle, could not get out of it, and just had to hope the fence would do him good, but it did not work out in his favor. So again, opportunity Mudder now to increase the lead in the match if he can get past Epos.
Epos, though, with some good speed coming out here. This drift he's seen him go wide a couple of times.
I think Mudder snipes this. His ending is really good. There's a trick called Gorilla Grip, where you press the other way before leaving the block. He gets a good spin. Epos is ahead, but there's a really fast Australian headed for the finish, and he makes it.
100, but as you say, the Gorilla Grip coming up clutch there for Mudder. That's 3 in a row in the grand finals now for Mudder.
And he's doubled the points of second, almost. It's, you know, within a couple of points there, 62 to 38, and he still has one more round of play. This is why players were scared of Mudder's Everest.
Yeah, it really is. And fortunately for him, it was put in the first half of the map pack because of how the semi-final seeding ended up. Mudder so solid on this map, and everyone else
another good one.
Yeah, chasing his tail. Epos, though, with a lot of speed, and we have seen that across the last couple of rounds on this map. The question is, can Epos get enough of a lead that Mudder's end does not matter? And the answer is immediately, he definitely can't.
No, I think he needs about a 0.3 gap to feel safe going into the ending, and even then, you still have to hit the good line to keep Mudder at bay. Is he going to try the yellow path or something, or just settle for the second places maybe? Pushing for this is not, you know, it's ill-advised, and I don't think he's going to run the risk necessarily, but we will see what happens. Advantage Mudder definitely going into the ending, but it's Everest.
I mean, it's Everest, but it's Mudder, man. This guy has grapples on his tires somehow. He's put no tires on. It is a little bit wide, but still Mudder has a sizable advantage going in, and even with the ice slide at the end, Epos cannot catch him up.
Tournament record from Mudder, 57.50 in the grand final. Epos almost drove the tournament record, but still it's only a second place, and what can you say? I think we saw Epos almost applauding there on the player cam. What do you even do about this? 72 points now to Pack's 41.
He has lost 8 points over 8 maps. 8 points over 8 maps. Like, this guy is on an absolute tear. And as you say, like, for Epos, it was almost a tournament record. It's like that guy that ran the marathon, broke the world record, and the guy in front of him broke it by like 30 more seconds. It's just incredible stuff so far from Mudder. As we will move on to our next map, it is Amsterdam.
And if it is a bit of solace for Epos and the others, this is a map I think they will be very competitive with Mudder on. Pack has the current public world record. Epos has the public tournament record, but I did hear from Mudder himself that he has a much faster time offline, that he hasn't shown how he's driven, and I don't remember if we even saw Mudder on this map previously, so let's see what he can do now.
it's a lot of very tight corners, actually, at the end. It's very easy to clip something there, especially with the corner being on a diagonal, the finish line being on a diagonal as we get into round 1 of map 3 here. Mudder, once again, out to an early lead. How many times have we said that across the course of today, across the course of the last few months, as he continues to be dominant? Everyone else, though, within a hair's breadth of him, really. It's a 10th separating all 4 players. This is a really good jump up from Epos, gets enough speed for the backflip, and now we'll move into the left-hand drift around the lamppost and then jump down onto that wood ramp.
But this round is a bit of the story we've seen. It's very close, but there's this purple car up front, and it is Mudder right now. Gwen dropping a bit back, Pack catching up to him. Will he get more speed out of the nose slide? They have to stabilize the car. Wet tires, difficult control.
Really good speed from Pack.
Oh, Epos.
Oh, Epos clips towards the side. Gwen's going to overtake him, but Pack is in first place. Great nosedive from him as well. As we're moving to the wall ride, now we have the plastic bounce underwater, and then you have to avoid the brick wall as you come out. Pack, looking at that back wheel hit, you can see how much Mudder is using his front wheel instead. Not drifting as much, does lose him speed coming out of it though, and Pack with the lead here, looking for that final finish. Good line from him, he comes over in a 105.842, almost the tournament record, chased by Mudder.
And they needed someone to step up to stop the bleeding. Pack himself does it, but that only makes things worse for Epos and Gwen.
Yeah.
They're now left trailing by quite a lot in a bit of a tough spot. Mudder 78, Pack 51. But it shows that there are maps where it's a lot closer, and I think the pace here will only get faster and faster as the rounds go on.
He's not infallible. Sometimes that's all you need, that small bit of light, that small bit of hope. As we see the wall band coming in into these water sections, this is where Pack really thrives. Able to get a lot of speed out of this, and you can see he went from 3rd to 1st. Jump up here, need to get on that wall as quickly as possible, and Pack is slightly ahead of Mudder going into this drift around the lamppost. Mudder, though, takes the lead coming out of the backflip. Now we'll jump down onto this wood. Gwen too slow, doesn't make it. Pack through this water section is going to try and gain some space over Mudder. It looks to be about a 10th, 800ths in fact. Now we go into this section. Make sure you don't drift, and everyone manages to get through it. Pack is accelerating away ever so slightly. Epos overtaking Mudder as well is huge for them both in this grand final. If they can relegate him to 4 points instead of 6, they can start to catch back up. Through the water, onto the water bounce, as you say, huge. Mudder trying to take the extra speed through it, and that's exactly what Mudder can do. Pack will overtake him. Epos has a little bit more speed here as well. It's all on the line, all on the drift. Epos overtakes, but Mudder comes back and claims 2nd place. A 105.872 to round it out.
How hard they have to fight just to have him end up in 2nd place. It is an incredible performance from Mudder so far. He's found a lot of flow. Pack, though, answering back now. That's 2 10-pointers in a row. And although it doesn't look like it, the gap is shrinking. And we are playing till 140. There's still room for them to make the comeback happen. Epos also coming to life now on Amsterdam. This is his favorite map. This is where he turned around his semifinal. He was in last place going into this map at that time, and he came out first.
It's a long grand final when you think about it. We're only halfway through. If Mudder continues winning as many maps as he's winning, Epos a little bit behind here, does need to catch up. But once again, everyone within about a 10th going up into this jump. Epos not with the greatest line. Gwen losing a little bit of speed as well as we'll move into the drift around the lamppost.
Now we will see. This is where Gwen failed the jump last time. He's probably going to take it a bit more safely. Has not built that momentum he did in the semi. Remind you, he was winning 9 out of the first 10 or so rounds. He was on a tear. Here, looking a bit more docile at the moment. Needs to wake up and come back to his form, but he's trying to jump too inside there, loses speed, gets overtaken by both Mudder and Epos. Pack still in front, looking for the hat trick. 3 in a row here. Epos clipping a bit, not the worst, but enough to be passed by 2 players. Puts him down into last, and now Mudder versus Gwen for that 2nd place, perhaps pushing all the way up to 1st. Can Pack hold it together in the last drift through the entry door? Gwen misses it. Pack 1st place, Mudder 2nd, Epos 3rd.
And we keep getting quick up. A 105.79, only a 10th of a second away from the tournament record. But again, it's Mudder who sneaks through in that 2nd place. And for him, if it's a bad map for him, getting consistent seconds is enough. You've already done the groundwork. From here on out, you can just let other people get a first him and there. Obviously trying for every win he can get as he gets off to an amazing start here. Epos trying to catch on his heels, already a 10th down, Pack chasing in as well.
Yeah, what is that lead out of the first? Relatively trivial corners. We did see Pack there at the edge of the frame, hit the wall, and Gwen has made a mistake. We effectively have a 1 versus 1 now. And I want to say, Epos didn't try his luck on Everest in these situations, but here on Amsterdam, his best map, I think he's going to push for this.
Oh, Mudder's out!
Never mind. And how big is that respawn? We will see. Right now, 2 seconds on the checkpoint split. Might have been a short one, but it could be within reach for the others. Epos, though, he's going to see this and cruise all the way to the finish line with those points.
Yeah, it's got such a gap. You can see Mudder there about 2 seconds ahead of Gwen. Mudder makes another mistake. Maybe Gwen can catch up, but it is going to be tricky to do so. There's a battle for third and fourth, though, as Pack is chasing down Gwen. Nose down, goes a little bit tighter on that corner into the wall ride, now looking for the bounce. Mudder has caught onto Epos just a little bit, but he's still 5 seconds behind, so Epos should be getting first place here, and Pack doesn't have the speed to catch up with Gwen. Unless Gwen fails this drift, which he doesn't do, it will be all she wrote. Pack needs to make a quick U-turn, a quick 360, gets in time.
Yeah. Pack there finishing. Epos slowing down the pace tremendously after he saw the mistakes. It was a 1:07.0, so not the fastest pace, but the points are there. And we see standings right now, Mudda 96, about to cross the 100-point threshold. The others at least 20 points behind.
Yeah, still trying to chase him down. We will move on to our fourth map in the pool. It's Road Trip, a map we haven't actually seen so far here in the Red Bull Faster finals.
Road Trip here, it's a map that some players wanted to avoid in the semis. Now we get to see it. It is very difficult in a lot of strange ways. You have some snow at the end that they have to slide across, but you also have this full speed part, and full speed is an element many players don't play a lot, and it just so happens Mudda is like the world's best full speed player.
Yeah. Made his name in full speed before he moved on to different formats. An incredible player all round. So the important thing is, although there is a lot of full speed, things like the speed slide at the start will gain you about a 10. It's not a massive advantage you can get from getting a perfect speed slide there. Mudda's still obviously very good at this map generally. And we'll see how well he can do as we work our way through the warm-up. There's some cool bits in the middle of this as well. You have the snow ramp right near the end. This drift as well. Going into this mud drift towards the right, you see a ton of taps from Mudda on his brake. You can actually hear them a lot of the time when he's doing them as well in the room.
We actually talked about this with the players, that sometimes they will know exactly what pace Mudda is on because he hits his brake button on the wheel and it makes this clank sound. So they will know, like, oh man, Mudda's already hitting the brake taps in the middle of Road Trip, and then they know his pace.
That rock that Mudda just drove through is fake, by the way. You can drive through that. If you drive through the first one, you're not going to crash. It's fine. Took a few people a while to realize that. Definitely took me a while to realize that until I saw the players just yeeting their cars through it as we walk our way into the fourth map of the Red Bull Faster Grand Final.
So it starts with this trick where they bounce the wall into a spin. That is intended and actually the only way to reliably get through that part. Now we're in the full speed section. This is the speed slide that we talked about that favors Mudda. He goes so low on the wall ride to overtake Pack for a moment. And out of the start, it's a really quick pace and hard to keep up with. They're going to go 26 low here on the tech point. It's a good metric to follow. And you mentioned in the warm-up this underwater part. What happens here is you have dirt mixed with water, you have to go sideways, and if you brake tap now, it is faster. You get this flick out of the water, and the players definitely heard that, and we are seeing that Mudda did that perfectly. He's up in first, they jump through the windmill, they make their way onto the road trip over the grass. Beautiful, scenic Dutch nature, and we get towards the ending.
Have to align yourself for that plastic corner as well, as we see Epos overtaking Mudda, Pack in the lead as well. Now we have this little bit of snow on the road here. Need to make sure you're aligned as Mudda is able to overtake Epos. Epos doesn't have enough speed to get it back. We will clang into the bell at the end. Pack brings it home in a 1:10.29.
That is a very quick time per rounds. 10 more points for Pack. It should be said, this gap at one point was over 25 points, and now we are looking at, well, 18. So little by little, Pack is working his way back here, but the problem is, when is the last time Mudda had a last place? He had one on Amsterdam, I believe, but he does not really make that many mistakes.
Yeah, not at all. He's been incredibly consistent throughout this, and I will say, if Pack keeps getting first and Mudda keeps getting second, he will be catching him. And obviously Mudda will need to win a round, even if he is in finalist mode. Now out to a strong early start, about a 10th of a second ahead of Epos, and the same ahead of Pack. Gwen has been struggling on this map so far. We often see him about half a second down by the fourth or fifth checkpoint, so he is a non-factor, so to say, is in the bottom of the points chart as well. We'll move into this dirt mixed with water, mud, drift, and you can see the jittering there from Mudder as he taps that brake. There's a bit of acceleration, a little bit more speed for Epos, but it's lost pretty quickly through that grass slide.
So much speed there from Mudder. That's 0.2. That's almost a comfortable gap for this map. If it were not for the wall hug, the smoother you enter this, the more speed you keep across the penalty grass. Mudder had a really good one, enough to maintain his lead, but the others are very close. We're going into the ending. You want to wobble the car. Best wobble there, seen by Mudder. Pack trailing a bit behind Epos. They go down the last hill. Does Mudder have the speed to hold on? Epos might snipe this. This is very
so close. Mudder by 4 thousandths.
4
at the bell.
300ths down to Pack as well. They were all basically on the same run. But it favors Mudder. He gets another 10 and undoes all that work Pack just did.
It's such a resounding lead right now for Mudder. 26 points ahead. We'll see if he can continue to extend it. Round 3 here on Road Trip, and it's such a technical map as well. I wonder if we'll start seeing people not do the spin, because you can inconsistently gain a little bit more time as Mudder is chasing Pack here, but Gwen and Epos basically out of the running already. 3/10 and 5/10 down. Mudder gets more speed out of that speed drift. It's almost a second down to Epos and Gwen, so it's a 2-horse race. Pack versus Mudder, something we've seen so many times before. Pack just trying to deny Mudder those extra 4 points you get from playing in first. Mudder trying to get into that finalist before anyone can catch him into the mud. And Mudder, unsurprisingly, eponymous with him, has been so good through this section. You can see how much extra speed just yeets the car through there. Pack is able to catch up a little bit through the grass corners. Now up into the windmill. Pack trying to land a little bit quicker onto the super booster, now into this plastic wall hug. Mudder with a little wiggle, and you can see how much speed that gains for Pack. We'll see if we can get through this snow section. As you say, you want the wobble over it, but Pack has a solid lead and is extending it away from Mudder. So it will be Pack getting first place. Mudder's going to come in second, Epos in third, and Gwen will round it out in fourth.
Pack needed that so badly because he's almost running out of runway now. Mudder keeps scoring, and even if he gains 4 points per round like this, Mudder's gonna hit 140 inevitably and be 1 win away from lifting the trophy. 20 points is the gap as we go into the last round of Road Trip, and then we make our way to the player picks coming up in a bit.
I will say, I think my maths is correct. If we continue this with Pack in first and Mudder in second for the next 4 rounds, Mudder will hit finalists and Pack will need 1 more round to hit finalists. So Mudder will have a chance if that is the way things shape out. For now, though, he is trying to find those wins as Pack falls off the bottom of the speed slide, and now Mudder has all of the green grass in the world as his runway. Epos and Gwen have to try and snipe away this first place from him.
Epos could maybe do it. We've seen a similar time from the pace Mudder's been driving from Epos, 110.20, but it has to be in the mud here that he keeps up. Mudder, though, look at how far he extends out there, has found the perfect brake timings, and it's 0.3 before they get to the ending, basically relying on a poor wall hug here from Mudder to give them a chance. Let's see what happens into the windmill. Have to start steering to the right at the correct time. Both players get it. Epos is going to go up towards the rock, and the gap is still 0.2. Can they get a better wobble? Gwen looks like he's getting closer, but Mudder, so relentless, so effortless too. He holds on, and it's going to be another 10-pointer for Mudder. 110.10.
Yeah, just incredible. Just incredible from Mudder all round. Gwen coming in second, Epos in third, and Pack will round it out in fourth, but Mudder continues his unrelenting advance through the rounds as he is now at 128 points. He is 3 rounds away from being crowned the Red Bull Faster champion. Pack is only 5. If he can get those first places, he can begin to overtake. We'll move on to skate. It is Gwen's pick at number 5 in our map pool, but it could all be done before this map even ends, Virtual.
Yeah, we will see, and if they don't end on skate, the next map pick is also Soapbox by Mudder. So right now, it is looking like everything you could want from the match. But it also is this thing with Trackmania that it doesn't matter if you have a good point lead if you start feeling the pressure and you cannot close out finalists.
It's true.
And the longer this goes on for after Mudder hits the point limit, the worse it gets psychologically.
Here we go, into skate, what could be the final map of the Red Bull Faster Grand Finals here. We'll see if anyone can take an early lead. There are a few different lines here. Pack has to be been following the same route as everyone else, but here it seems to be. Goes into that a little bit late. You can see him getting a bit more speed down here, but Gwen is out to that lead. Mudder with a very low jump is going to be a bit tighter on this corner towards the left, and then we'll jump up into this half pipe with a little bit of a flip. I'll land on that and carry as much speed through this next section as possible.
The pace is quick. They're actually on really good time attack pace. Low flip from Pack. He doesn't get the rotation and falls down. Another opportunity for Mudder to extend ahead in points. Gwen and Apples though close behind. And
good speed from Gwen.
We say it as a certainty that Mudder won't make mistakes, but it's really not that common to drive this many rounds without any dents in your armor, any fails at all, and he's continuing to put this pressure on the others to drive so fast that they have to risk themselves. Gwen, though, on his map choice, wants to come back to life, bring the action, give him a chance, run for the money. He's going to get the flip and get 10 points, showing he can do it too.
Mudder does come in second place, Epos taking third, Pack coming back in fourth place, and it now seems to be Gwen's duty to stop the unrelenting Mudder from taking that first place. But Mudder, 134 points now, needs 1 second place or better to make it into finalist mode. Pack is sitting at 104, Epos at 81, and Gwen at 72. This could be it. This could be the red name tag for Mudder. And after that, only 1 win away from claiming his first Red Bull Faster title. Let's follow along with him as he comes through these first couple of quarters, a couple of hundreds between all of the players as Pack goes high on that wall ride. See how low Mudder goes here on the jump, takes a slightly tighter line around this corner, but Pack and Gwen have a small lead on him. Into the flip, will go into the half pipe. Mudder carrying good speed through it, as now we go into this pivotal jump. Can Mudder get it high enough?
Low.
It is low, but he lands it okay. Just about got the rotation. Gwen does take a small advantage over him. It's all about the speed through this water slide section, as Gwen is still about 1.5 tenths ahead.
Mudder needs a second place. Remember, that's the 6 points for finalists. So Pack here could importantly deny him 1 round of play with the red name tag. Pack and Gwen both ahead of him. This is the result they're looking for. And Pack, importantly, trying to snipe Gwen. He sees it's close. He knows he has first place now. And Gwen flipping, giving Mudder the second place he needed. Mudder now with the red name tag and the chant in his hands.
Pack just trying everything he can to catch up at 114 points, as you say. Mudder moves into finalist mode. 1 win is all he needs to claim that trophy in center stage. And what a way to have done it. Consistently first or second, no one has been his equal today. No one has had the consistency. This man who's flown halfway across the world to be here. Mudder into these jumps, early portions of the map, not his most consistent, but he is able to get the low jump, and now we'll go around towards this left-hander into that half pipe. Wants to get down on this early, reduce the airtime as much as possible, and carry the speed through the next sections into this jump. Mudder was low last time, but was able to rotate the car enough. Again, it's low.
It's bad.
It's not good. He loses a ton of speed, and now Pack, Gwen, and Epos can see those points awaiting on the horizon.
Finally an opportunity for them. He hasn't made a mistake at all, and suddenly with the red name tag, it's different.
Yeah.
The pressure is there, the realization that you're about to do it. Of course, it's not over yet in Trackmania, but Pack makes a mistake, and now it's between Gwen and Apples. They're both still ahead of Mudder, but if something were to happen, that could change. Looks like they both have it under control. Gwen on his map choice is going to secure another 10 points, but it's such a long way to go.
It's probably the best ending for Mudder, considering he made the mistake. He doesn't want Pack to be finishing first at all. He doesn't want Pack to catch up with that finalist mode. Gwen is sitting right near the bottom of the table right now at 85 points. Epos is at 91. Pack now only goes to 117. If Pack had got second place there, he's only 2 wins away from finalists, but instead he falls all where he's still 3 finishes away from getting it. We'll go into round 4 here of Escape with Mudder still just 1 win away from the trophy.
Let's remind the audience also that the positions of the other players, when a winner claims first place with finalist mode, is the final standing, so it does matter for prizes as well. That battle very close between Gwen and Apples, for instance, but for now, all eyes on Mudder once more into this side flip, landing so smooth with the surface, getting all the speed you could squeeze out of that, and the flip has been what has stopped him from winning rounds. This one, ladies and gentlemen, looks pristine. He lands with all the downhill speed preserved. Apples gets the same one. He's been practicing that all the warm-up, and now he has to challenge Mudder, the unstoppable raid boss from the semi-finals, and he is right now winning, but only by 500s. 1 slip-up, and that is the tournament bit over. Can he get a good drift? Mudda sets up wide. He has more speed onto the block, the jump. Apple's going wide, maybe giving Mudda a chance at a comeback. Mudda is faster, and this speed carries all the way to the finish line. Is he gonna do it here? The last flip down, no, he clips, and Apples keeps the game going.
Gods complete. And this is something we have seen from Mudda before. You were talking about it when he went into finalist mode. There have been times when the nerves have got to him. There have been times when we've seen him come into the tournament as the best and then struggle to really actuate that, to enact that. And now he's been the best consistently through the group stages, through stage 1, through stage 2. Didn't lose a single heart in stage 2. But now when it comes to that red name tag.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure's been added now.
Yeah.
It's a couple of rounds where maybe you should have had it, but it didn't work out. One thing that plays in Mudda's favor here is that this didn't happen on his map pick. But now they're starting Soapbox, and before the match, this is the map Mudda picked in the position he did, because he thought this is when he's going to close it out. So these next 4 chances are critical for Mudda to execute on.
A few of those jitters can really cause a lot of issues, but Mudda once again looking for that prize, looking for that first place. He'll take a small lead to kick things off, but everyone basically within a hand's breadth of each other. To the left-hander over this jump through the fog. That does nothing, but it looks pretty cool as we go into the right-hand drift. We've already lost one. Epos clips the side. Couldn't get his Soapbox through the derby, and now into this high wall ride, trying to maintain as much speed as possible. This also a very tricky situation as Pack clips onto the asphalt, gets onto the turbo. Pack has a small lead as we move into this left-hand drift.
Pack is on an incredible run, and it is only 0.2 ahead of Mudda. Gwen there too, they are battling back, but here the steering wheel is so good in this exact part. As you enter the grass now, you can do a no slide by gently moving the steering wheel.
Pack
keeps a little bit more speed than Pack, and you can see he's pulling back, and this is going to hold to the drift. They equalize in speed here. Pack gets a better line. He extends the lead by about a 10th. Still anyone's game. We're going into the last 2 turns to Soapbox. Can Pack hold on and give himself a chance at finalist, or will Mudda snipe it away here? Less wet tires for Mudda. It's gonna be a better drift. The gap might be enough for Pack to hold on, and he will. He defends first place, but it had to be done with a tournament record by Pack.
Just incredible time. A 107.8 from Pack is amazing as he gets 10 points and sets himself up for one more round to get towards that finalist. He's at 131, Epos is at 105, and Gwen is at 91 now.
This is a really good map for Pack 2, a really good map for Epos 2. I mean, they're all in the grand final for a reason. Can Pack get one more win here and give himself a chance at the title?
And for Mudda now, you're into your 4th map, 4th round of finalists. And you have to think those nerves are eating at you a little bit. We saw Epos falling out relatively early on last time. Mudda with a good inside line to get onto that booster a little bit earlier. High wall ride as well as he tries to take as much speed through this next section. This is the costly turn. This can really define your race as Epos clips again. Mudda now in the lead, a 10th ahead of Gwen, as he looks to try and accelerate away. Gwen trying to catch up. Pack 2 tenths behind, and it's all on Gwen. All on the Frenchman to stop the Thunder from down under from claiming his prize. But Mudda sees it in his eyes. He can taste that trophy already. No slide through the corner. Good speed for him as well. He has to make a mistake if anyone's going to catch him now. But you feel it is all done and dusted. You feel that it is all written in the history books. Mudda looking for his first ever Red Bull Faster Championship. Last year he came oh so close, but this year he will not be denied as Mudda claims the championship. Your Red Bull Faster champion, Mudda.
And what a journey it's been for Mudda. So many tournaments where he's been so good, and finally he gets the breakthrough and the first major win. Incredibly deserved. Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with the champion Mudda, of course, a happy sight. Mudda, can you tell us a little bit about how this felt?
A huge redemption after last year's heartbreak, that's for sure. And yeah, very, very happy with how I played the entire tournament. And my goal from the beginning, like stage 1, dominant. Stage 2, dominant. I wanted the same for stage 3, and I'm very satisfied.
Absolutely incredible scenes, Mudda. And you have the crowd rooting behind you here. This is your first major tournament win, and so we're gonna make our way now over to the trophy. If you can please join me. And a drum roll from the crowd. Ladies and gentlemen, your champion,